You might know one of Johnny Depp's most recent movies is Gene Dabari. It was in the Cannes Film Festival and it did pretty well. This video here has got no drama, no controversy, no bad news. The thing is, on February 2nd this year, Gene Dabari's coming to Japan. This from Fan's Voice. I think it's a Japanese site, or they print in Japanese at least. So that means, in Japan, this Johnny movie will get more exposure, which is good. As you can see here, the article is in Japanese originally. There's no drama, no mention of you-know-who, no mention of Virginia. It seems like we're pretty much sailing way past that now. As a matter of fact, what they have here is a description of the movie. No distractions. Gene Dabari, the King's Last Mistress, to be released on February 2nd, 2024, in Japan, of course, and of course in Tokyo, where I am probably mostly. The latest film starring Johnny Depp, Gene Dabari, which was selected as the opening film for the 76th Cannes Film Festival, will be released on Friday, February 2nd, 2024, as the Japanese title, Gene Dabari, the King's Last Lover. It has been decided it will be released in Japan. That's what I said. Yes, thank you. And they go on to say some things about the character of Gene Dabari, the person that Mylon's playing. They say she lives a life somewhat like a prostitute. Not sure what that means, but okay. Somewhat interesting. They also say she was born poor, but she's got this beauty, so obviously popular with the men. They say that King Louis XV falls in love with her instantly, and of course, that king's played by none other than Johnny Depp. They say she becomes the king's official mistress. But, of course, as you could have guessed, a commoner being a mistress with a king is, well, not exactly the norm. They also say she has disregard for formal manners and things like that. I guess kind of like Meghan Markle, you could say. They say the movie's set in France in the 18th century, and that Louis XV reigned as the king for 59 years. That's a long time. I mean, back then, people didn't even live that long usually. They talk about Mylon, who directed it, some other things she directed, and then they mention it got a 7-minute standing ovation, which I must note is about 2 or 3 minutes longer than the usual. It also says it was released in its home country of France in May and became the first French movie to become the #1 hit, staying at the top 10 for 4 weeks in a row, attracting 750,000 viewers and making a box office hit of about 1 billion yen, which I think is like around, not $1 billion in dollars, a lot less, but a lot. I don't have my calculator. I never deal in numbers that high, although I live in Japan. I'm always translating like, what's this 50 bucks worth? But, as you could tell, it did pretty good compared to a lot of other movies. So that's where we end. Compliments about it all round. No bad news is getting out to Japan at all. That silly thing where Mylon spit in the guy's face in the restaurant, no one cares here, and it seems like he might have deserved it. The court case, you-know-who, no drama, just promotion for the movie to do well in Japan. I'll report on it, of course. I should actually see it if I get a chance to get out. Anyway, if you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.